All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Your House Divided. You may be wondering who's this handsome young guy
Thank you.
next to me. It's our guest, man. Our special guest is back. Went 6-0. Jose got replaced because he sucked. I'm kidding. He just couldn't be here today, so brought in a special guest. He went 6-0 his first time last year, right? Or 5-0 or something. Just
Something like that.
undefeated. Something crazy. But the man, the myth, the legend, Rafa's back.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and hopefully best bets hit again and keep that record going. It won't be too hard to have a better record than Jose probably, but hey.
Honestly, he's doing better than me now. But the
Well-
whole season, I was doing better. But speaking of records, we'll go straight into the recap. Oh shoot, wrong week, guys. Sorry. I went 1-4 last week. Awful weekend, guys. Putting me to 37-37 on the season.
Can I ask which one was the one you hit?
Yes, it was Florida plus 7.5. And then Jose went 2-2, but he recovered from his abysmal start to 23-19 now. And then we'll go straight into the reactions from last week's games. Your team, also a Texas fan here, they survived a late game charge there by the Vandy. The onside went out of bounds. What'd you like from your team? What'd you not like?
Well, can I say everything about the fourth quarter? I mean, I think every Texas fan got a little bit scared. I think what we've realized with this Texas team is they are just as likely to beat the number one seed in the country than to lose to an unranked team.
Yeah.
But as a Texas fan, I think the biggest positive was Arch Manning finally looked the part. I mean, definitely his most complete game so far. From his completion rate going up, he's on 63% for the season, excluding this game, and he did 76% completion this game, and then 328 passing yards, even though his average was only 235. So all of these stats, kind of passing wise, are on the up. But I think my favorite and most important as a fan is there were no sacks. He's been
That's
taking
pretty good, yeah.
18 this year, so that's just a positive for me. But maybe someone with a little bit less bias. Do you want to weigh in a little
I mean,
bit?
first three quarters, it looked like Texas was the preseason Texas everyone thought.
But yeah, the seed
Fourth
one.
quarter, the cookie started to crumble, and maybe the refs helped a little bit, but nothing crazy. But you were, I guess, an inch away from Vandy having the ball with.
I know that's the
game
thing
winning
where the
field.
fact that they didn't even get the onside kick, we just got saved. And if you look at the replay correctly, one of the Vandy guys swatted it out
his
of
own
one of the
player.
other Vandy guys' hands. So we definitely got a little bit lucky there. If they would have scored or not, who knows? But I think Texas feels like they're finally heating up, especially with the matchups that are coming up with Georgia. And I hate to admit it, but A&M, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
way scarier now.
Two top five teams there. Arch looked better, I think, kind of what me and Jose broke down before the game. It was start giving him quick throws, and we saw first play of the game, the 80-yard touchdown screen pass to Wingo. So I think the game plan suited him, and he executed very well. And great win from y'all. Keeps those playoff hopes alive, but you still have some tough games ahead.
Yeah, definitely. One loss is killer for most teams at this point,
But I've seen a lot of people, even like a 9-3 Texas, defeating either Georgia or A&M, that could sneak in there depending on what other teams do. But if there was a 9-3 team, it would either beat them or OU. But you guys have the head-to-head too.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
but-
I think just a lot of teams right now are kind of hoping for chaos up top.
Yeah, which
But
could
we'll see.
happen, man. It's these new conferences are crazy. But let's move on to this second one. Miami actually did collapse.
Yeah.
Late season, kind of like last year, with Carson Beck throwing yet another game-winning pick.
Yeah, I mean that offense has hit a wall fast. I mean, in the last 3 games, he has 3 touchdowns and 6 picks in comparison to
Looks
starting.
like 2023 Dak, man.
Exactly.
Or 2022, whenever he had like 20 interceptions.
Yeah, I just feel like overall the unit that Miami worked to rebuild all season has just slipped back to its old ways. I mean, across the board, yards per play, rushing efficiency, passing production, everything is down. The only thing that's up is their turnovers. So defense is cracking. I mean, honestly, it's all going bad. I think they have 2 winnable losses plus a crowded ACC, and their playoff hopes are pretty much gone. So.
Yeah. Chad GPT,
Yeah, a little bit on the ACC part. I'm not gonna lie. Low-key cooked. I gave it some stats and said, "Hey, write me a little bullet point."
I like that. But no, I agree. I think Carson Beck, he looked great to start the season. Obviously, these last 2 games looked subpar. some crucial turnovers, which we saw ended his time at Georgia. This Miami team, to me, is done, especially with the ACC. They're out of the conference championship game for sure. But even their playoff hopes, I don't see a way they can squeeze in there, and then
No
unless
shot.
like 10 teams collapse. But yeah, you hate to see it because I mean this team was ranked number 2 and they looked the part, but
Yeah. And with those 10 teams collapsing, you still need Miami to do good with those 10
that's
teams
true. They can
collapsing.
still,
So
yeah, who's to say they're gonna win out, man? But yeah, unfortunate, and we'll see if Carson Beck gets drafted. I wouldn't draft him personally.
I wouldn't either.
But hey, maybe someone takes a 7th-round flyer.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not too excited about anything regarding Carson Beck. I feel like the closest thing he's got to the NFL is the fact that him and Jake Ferguson are kind of in the same brother-in-law family. But
They were.
did they split?
He cheated on her a while back.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were still in love.
It was like as soon as he transferred to Miami, apparently with some chop shit, some chop chick, he sent like, you want to hook up or something on Snapchat, and she screenshotted it. And
Oh, I saw those, but I thought those were AI.
No, it was real.
Oh, well, never mind, Carson Beck. Your NFL ties are done.
Yeah, so he got screwed both ends, but he's probably having a good time there in Miami.
Fair enough. I'll ask you this time.
Uh-huh.
First thoughts. What are your original thoughts on Oklahoma versus Tennessee?
Man, I was pretty confident in Tennessee coming in that game. I don't know why, because they hadn't really beat anyone, but they activated dark mode. They made this big thing, and they just got whooped. Their offense did not show up. It was more like light mode. Joe Aguilar just should have had way more interceptions. I saw a couple dropped ones, a couple crazy throws, and then Mateer he made the throws he needed to, and he managed the game very well. An impressive win. OU defense looks strong again. After that Texas and who they just lose to Ole Miss game,
Mm-hmm.
but a little bit of a shocker especially watching how bad this Tennessee team is. But OU's for real, and I think they have the number 1 strength of schedule, so they have down the road at LSU, but LSU's down, and then at Bama. But if they end with 3 losses,
I mean, they still got to play Mizzou too.
they can sneak in. Yeah,
I mean,
they can sneak in there, but they shouldn't. I'm pretty sure OU's ranked over Texas, which is blasphemy. I mean, we saw that game, 3 weeks ago, and we saw which team was better, and they have the same amount of losses. So to me, that's blasphemy. But yeah, what were your thoughts on this game?
Well, first, same as you, I did not think OU was gonna come out the way they did, especially with like the Tennessee, the huge deal that was done with all the dark mode, and all that stuff. But I'm not super optimistic on OU moving forward. Like you said, they have the toughest schedule based on the opponents they still have to play. And I think their 2 biggest wins, which are now Tennessee, who's 25, and Michigan, who's 21.
Yeah.
Those are not really elite wins in my book. I feel like 1 loss, they're out. But I still think I don't think it's going to be very possible for them to move on, and Tennessee's cooked immediately.
Alabama, because Alabama's going to be playing for a conference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, Tennessee, I don't think their resume is strong enough to be one of the 3-win bid teams. So
I actually saw before this week going into. I knew it before, but I still thought, it's not their fault to play. Tennessee's combined wins in conference were 0-12. Every team. Arkansas was 0-4.
I did not know that.
Mississippi State was 0-4, and Kentucky was 0-4. The only reason one of them got a dub is because they played each other.
I did not know that, but I appreciate you letting me know. But
now they're 1-14 combined.
That's crazy. But I guess overall for me, I think OU might hang around a bit longer, but I think OU and Tennessee are both cooked and essentially out of playoff contention. But
you got a top 10 for us this week, man?
Yeah, here, let me pull it up real quick. I have it on a.
Oh wait, my bad. I skipped something. Well, it kind of goes with the top 10, but you can.
Oh, you go, and then
I'll go
mine's
with
on a
my
different
top 10.
document.
Yeah. So my top 10 stays the same. Top 4: Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Bama. And I got Georgia, and then I got Ole Miss, Oregon, BYU. They all slid up because Georgia Tech lost. Then I got Texas Tech creeping in there at number 9. Big matchup this weekend with BYU. And I got Texas at that number 10 spot. It was between them and OU and other ones, but to me, Texas has the head-to-head with OU, so OU should not be here.
Yeah, I agree. Cause what they have OU, they has them what 11 or 12,
11,
right?
11.
11.
Texas 13, yeah.
Yeah, here. So I think mine, as far as the AP polls, the biggest differences for me are I'm moving Texas in as well into that 10 spot and bumping Notre Dame and then everything else below it down as well. I do still think Texas Tech is above Texas. But above that, I do have Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Bama, then Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, BYU, Tech, Texas, and then I even put Virginia over OU because I just think OU
I'd consider
has
Virginia
nothing.
at that 10 spot too. But
Yeah, so I'd say I put Virginia over OU, but OU's moving down, like you said. I don't see why they're still getting this recognition. I guess they moved up here. I have the AP poll here. They moved up 7 spots this week, which, I mean, makes sense because they're playing Tennessee. But then again, I don't think that was...
Tennessee's fraudulent.
Yeah, I think Tennessee had more hype based on their uniforms than their actual play. So we'll see what people call it. But
let's kind of, with that, talk about these CFP rankings that came out. I have them pulled up here. They're kind of the same top. I like that.
I have them here
Texas
too.
11, OU 12. I like OU may be a little high.
Mm-hmm.
I think Utah's a little high. They had a big weekend, but they've lost big to some of their Big 12 partners or competitors. Excuse me, partners. And besides that, I don't see too much of an issue. I think Miami at 18 still crazy. I think Tech should be maybe a little bit higher. Obviously, tough loss, but that's their first one. And Tennessee should not be ranked anymore. I mean, we saw their wins.
How do you feel about Georgia Tech? I know there's a big fan base around, and everybody's on the hype train of Georgia Tech now.
I really like them, and I think offensively it looked great this weekend. Obviously, they just could not stop C.J. Bailey and that NC State team. But I don't know how the tiebreakers work in that conference, but they can still sneak in there if they win out. If they win out, that means they would have been Georgia, so they'll definitely be a playoff team if they don't make that conference championship game. But if they went out in conference, they could sneak in that championship game and take the title. But I think that is, to me, the best team in that conference, to be honest. I just think they had a slip up in a tough environment, and it happened.
I agree.
And let's move on here to the NFL. The Steelers proved Mr. Jose wrong and shocked the Colts.
I sent a strongly worded message to Jose after the podcast. Yeah. Game hadn't played. All my picks, I took the Steelers. I will say I was a little scared. But, I mean, the one thing I will say, I can't be disappointed with the result, right? We beat arguably the best team in the NFL. But I feel like looking at the stat sheet, 6 turnovers, and we didn't win by 20 points. I was a little concerned, especially to their 1 turnover in the last 2 minutes off of a front flip fumble. But I think it was kind of the same story of defense kind of comes up big and the offense takes a while to get moving or barely moving at all, especially with 6 takeaways, only being able to put that many points on the board. But I was excited. I'm not going to complain anymore about the win. We beat the Colts. I will say my biggest worry now is the Colts. I feel like
that woke them up a little bit.
Yeah, and like this is a lot of social media as well, but people are saying that there's a picture going viral of Daniel Jones, and it is the same exact face he had when he had a good game for the Giants, and then everything went downhill after that. So everybody's saying Daniel Jones is going back to his old ways. But, I mean, all I can say is I was excited to see the defense play the way they did. I was kind of high on Roman Wilson, and then he ended up fumbling. So that was a little sketchy at times. But I would say overall I was very happy with the result. Definitely unexpected, but I think leading into this new week, we'll get into it later, but I'm still riding high on the Steelers.
No, I mean, great win. Daniel Jones, I mean, he still did his thing. Those short passes, it looked like your pass defense was still there, but I mean, the name of the game is not allowing points and getting good position for your offense with those turnovers, even though they didn't take the most advantage of it. But great win. Steelers, I feel like, are kind of like Texas in a way where they play to their competition at times and can beat anyone, but can lose to anyone as well. So
Yeah. And real quick, I just want to slip this in. Can you give us a little brief explanation of what happened to the Cowboys? Or
hey, we're going all in now. Too late, Jerry. We're 3-5-1, dude. That we're not making the playoffs. But no, it's just Dak couldn't do anything early on, and then our defense can't stop Westlake High School football team. So
fair enough.
yeah, it was brutal. Fumbles. Javonte Williams fumbled. Jake Ferguson fumbled, and it was just we had 3 points on the board, and I mean we ended up losing by 3, so it was brutal, or maybe 10. I don't remember. I turned it off after.
Doesn't even matter.
I turned it off after the fumble. But losing to the Cardinals is just tough, man. But
Very tough. You even saw Marvin Harrison Sr. kept tweeting that he's embarrassed and he can't even watch the Cardinals play offense with his son on that team.
well, I knew he was gonna go off, dude. Like any player goes off against that defense. It's the worst defense. 32nd in everything.
Yeah. I'll ask you real quick before we move on to any more matchups for this next week. I will say, especially this week, it kind of works out. How do you feel about the fact that the Chiefs are still Super Bowl favorites on betting lines, except right now they're not even in playoffs?
I mean, it's if they get in the playoffs, they're the favorites to me because you can't doubt Mahomes in the playoffs.
Mhm.
But I mean, their division's tough. Chargers 6-3, Broncos 7-2. They still have a lot of games. They play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That's tough. They have a lot.
You're
of
acting
tough
like
games.
Tennessee right now, Rut.
They have a lot of tough games left, but I think they can still afford 3 more losses, and
Mhm.
I think they're a great team, and they just ran into an even better team in Buffalo on the road. So I think if they get in there, even we've seen them without home field advantage, they can make the Super Bowl. So I'm not upset at it, but I think considering they're 5-4, maybe they shouldn't be the favorites. they should still be top 5. Though.
Yeah. I'll ask you, there's an interesting matchup this week. I kind of have my thoughts on it, but I'll ask you, what are you thinking first about Vikings-Ravens?
Well, after the Vikings, we saw J.J. McCarthy came back and kind of worked the Lions. It was kind of shocking, to say the least, especially because he's only had 2 starts before that, but he's looked good. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I am going to lean the Ravens here, I think, with Lamar being back, and that defense still sucks, but Lamar is most valuable player on his team, and I think the Vikings struggle against the pass, so he will carve him up a little bit, kind of like he did on Thursday night with those 4 touchdowns. And I do like the Vikings, but I think this Ravens team is making a playoff push, and I think they'll get it done.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're just going to get outclassed. I mean, Lamar came back as if nothing had happened, putting up the stats he did. And I know J.J. McCarthy had a really good game, but I just don't see him pulling 2 upsets off like that against Lamar's Ravens right after they beat the Lions. So I wouldn't say I'd necessarily bet it, but I do think the Ravens are going to cover the spread because I think it's 4.5. I could be wrong, but I think that's...
No, it's Ravens minus 4.5.
Yeah. So sorry, backwards. But I think the Ravens will win relatively comfortably, but I do think it's going to be a good matchup. It all just depends on how J.J. McCarthy shows up.
Yeah. Do you think this Vikings team is a playoff team based on what we saw this past weekend?
I mean, based on what we saw that week, yes, but I'm very doubtful of first impressions on certain teams. Like, on the Steelers, Kenny Pickett when he first started, we all thought he was going to be really good. He had like 2 or 3 games where he was playing out of his mind. So I still think I need to see a little bit more of J.J. McCarthy, see kind of how he deals. I know obviously the Lions are a tough team and they ended up coming out on top, but I'm not going all in on the Vikings yet. I wouldn't be surprised because he has been showing obviously talent, especially with the weapons that he has. Well, mainly just Justin Jefferson, but
hey, Addison.
Yeah. So I do think they are, I guess, playoff contenders, but I wouldn't say right now like, oh yes, like they're gonna make a deep run or anything like that. You?
I think they are a playoff level team, and McCarthy has shown really good things, but also we've only seen 3 games. But I think what I don't have them making the playoffs. It's obviously what's the record? 3-5, 4.
Mm-hmm. I think here.
Or 4-4 or something. They are 4-4, and they play in the toughest division of football. They still have to play the Bears again, Lions again, Packers twice. So I think there's a lot of losses there, and especially with the Ravens this weekend, I don't think they can pick up enough wins. Even though I think they're a playoff level team to make up for when McCarthy was out.
Yeah, for me the matchup this week that I think is the one I'm most torn. So I'll let you answer before I go. What are your thoughts on Rams Niners?
Oh, there's another one I was more.
Really?
Yeah, but I think the Rams. I think that Thursday night game with the backups kind of shocked the Rams in a short week and kind of older team. So I am going to pick the Rams. They've been rolling, picking up some big wins and dominating. Puka's back.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Staff and Devontae kind of grew a new connection with Stafford. And I think this team's way too good and too loaded to lose to San Francisco's backups again.
Yeah, here I have 3 little fun facts real quick about the Rams. So the Rams this season have not allowed a rushing touchdown to a running back.
Uh-huh.
They rank second and third down in red zone defense, and they have allowed only 20 points in 3 games since giving up 26 to the Niners. But to me, all is futile. I don't bet against Christian McCaffrey. When I do bet against Christian McCaffrey, I lose. So give me the 49ers, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, I will say the 49ers have owned the Rams for as long as I can remember. So recently.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I just refuse to bet against Christian McCaffrey. He's too scary. But I guess it's the same as saying betting against Puka this season. So.
Yeah, Puka's been doing it. It's both your fancy
Yeah,
players.
I know. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll go into the game I was most torn about.
Let me guess. Bucks, Pats.
Yes, that game, both teams coming in with 2 losses. 2 teams that are on fire, especially the Pats. Who you got in this one?
I think it's tough, but I got the Bucks winning. I mean, what's gonna be tough, especially for the Bucks, is the injuries right now. They obviously running back Mike Evans, receivers, everything. They are really, really struggling just with healthy. Bucky.
Come back, though.
Oh, is he?
He's supposed to.
Okay,
so he's supposed to 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I just think if the Bucks kind of keep their blitz rush game going against Drake May, I think he's gonna panic. I don't think it's gonna kind of go too well. I think his O-line's gonna struggle. And I mean, this is kind of not great to say, but I went to Westlake. I went to UT. I mean, it should be in my blood to root against Baker Mayfield, but I love Baker Mayfield.
Hey, once he got to the NFL,
yeah, I mean, I love the way he plays, and I love his attitude. I don't know. Even maybe I'm blinded a little bit, but I'm rooting for the Bucks, and I think the Bucks can edge it out. What about you?
I'm also going to pick the Bucks. I think the Patriots have a lot of running back injuries. Henderson had a good game last week, but he's still learning and not that big explosive they need out the backfield. And I think this is a game where Drake May comes a little more down to earth against this gritty Tampa defense. And I just trust Baker, and with Ibuka back and Bucky supposedly back, I think they're at home and they're just gonna win in a close back and forth high scoring game. But I think Baker at the end with the ball in his hands at the end of the game, he always seals it.
Yeah, my one worry is just if Gonzalez is just shadowing Ibuka all game, we'll see what happens. But I guess moving on to your little Cowboys NFC squad, Eagles Packers showdown. What are your thoughts?
This one's tough, man. These are my 2 NFC favorites, even though the Packers have some terrible losses. They have a tie to the Cowboys, a loss to the Panthers, and, well, the Panthers are tough. We lost to the Panthers. And a loss to the Browns. But I think I haven't liked what I've seen from the Eagles so far. I think it's been a lot of relying on not necessarily luck, but certain things to go their way. The Packers on a night game in Lambeau, it's tough to come in there and win. And I think the Eagles are trying to shy away from Saquon. They didn't the last game they played, but to start the year they were. So if they don't lean on Saquon again, I think Micah's going to get to Hurts and rough him up a bit. So I am going to pick the Packers and Jordan Love to have a bounce-back game against an Eagles pass defense that haven't been bad, but they haven't been the best. And I think the Packers get this one done. I think they took the Panthers too easy. Looking forward to this game, and I think they kind of woke them up, and they'll bounce back here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game. These are also my NFC favorites, but I'm kind of going the opposite. I'm going Eagles, especially because for me, every time I watch the Packers play, I feel like Tucker Kraft is Jordan Love's little safety net every play, and he's out now for the season, I believe. I think it's for the season.
It looks like it.
And you also have, I mean, the Eagles freshly rested, coming off a bye, with additions, especially with Jair Alexander, Michael Carter, Jalen Phillips. I think on paper you're seeing a less dangerous Packers matched up against a more dangerous Eagles.
Sure.
So we'll see, but I do think Eagles edge this one out a little bit, but I do agree. I don't think the Eagles have been using their weapons very smartly. Saquon as well as A.J. Brown has basically disappeared 90% of the season. So
Devontae Smith.
yeah, so we'll see if they finally get that going again.
They just haven't found a balance to me.
Mhm.
It's like start of the week, it was like, or start of the year, too much on Saquon, and the receivers were getting mad. And then it was like Saquon was getting 6 carries a game. It was like, well, you can just give Saquon 15 carries to 20, and then throw the ball another 20 to 30 times, and get some screens to those guys and get them engaged. So
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see. And then moving on to this last game, you kind of alluded to it earlier. Steelers, another big matchup here against the Chargers, another AFC contender. Can they go into LA and pick up a W?
I think so. I mean, we all know that the strength of the Steelers is their defense. You got TJ Watt, you got everybody kind of doing their part. We got a good amount of veterans on the squad now. And Joe Alt is now, I believe, out for the season, so that's obviously going to come into play. I think it all comes down to that pass rush, seeing if we can take advantage of Joe Alt not being there, as well as Herbert's not necessarily a quarterback to panic in the pocket, so I think he'll be able to handle it pretty well. So I think it's going to come down to the same thing it came down to with the Colts. Can we capitalize on the turnovers? Because I doubt we're going to get 6 turnovers, but even if we get 1, 2, 3 turnovers, can we go and score off of those rather than get 3 points or just punt like we do every other play? So those are kind of my thoughts for now, but what about you?
I'm actually going to pick you guys to win this game.
Oh, wow.
I think you guys are just built to beat this hobbling Chargers team. The running backs are still out, still Badal. We saw you guys kind of shut down Jonathan Taylor to a little bit, and I think you guys can do something similar to obviously a way lesser threat. And like you mentioned, 2 starting tackles are out, and TJ Watt is just going to feast on those backups, even though he's going to get double teamed, but that's going to open up more sacks for everyone else. So I think you guys will create turnovers, will create havoc in the passing game, and kind of shut down the running game, and do just enough offensively to win an ugly game. But I think the Chargers, we saw them downskate and kind of picked it up, but they've had wins against not good teams, the Titans, stuff like that. So I think when they play another contender, their flaws, we're going to see them again.
Yeah, I'm glad you're finally on the good side.
Hey, man.
Y'all doubted against the Colts.
No, I didn't. I mean, the Colts are the Colts.
All right, but Jose doing that as a pick of the week is crazy, man.
I mean, he not only did he pick his own team to lose, and when picking a game, fine, whatever. Usually I just go with my bias, because why would I pick against my team? But he doubled down by making it a best bet, and then he got shut out, man.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to our college slate. It's a little smaller here, just 3 games. Kind of looking forward to this weekend. The big one this weekend to me is the Big 12 favorites showdown in Lubbock with the tortilla toss here. This is basically who will punch their ticket to the championship game. Obviously, there's still a couple weeks left, but I think these teams should take care of business the rest of the way. Who you got in this matchup? I think Texas Tech's favored by 10, which is kind of crazy to me.
I mean, I think BYU, their whole team, I think, is kind of their rushing game. They're averaging over 200 yards per game. But then you look at Texas Tech's rush defense, and I believe it's the best in college football right now. So I think the matchup decides everything. It's all going to be in the trenches. If Tech manages to force BYU to throw, I think the offense stalls, and then Texas Tech can just control the tempo of the game. So I think Tech's offense is also more balanced than BYU's. So I just think it comes down to physicality and balance, and I think Tech beats them out in every category.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Tech. I think I mean, their one loss came without their starting quarterback to a good Arizona State team. So I think this Tech team's really good. They're at home. It's a wild crowd. It is at 11 a.m., but sometimes makes people crazier. And like you mentioned, I think Tech's more balanced, and I like their defense better. And even though I don't think it's a 10-point game, I do think Tech wins this easily.
I agree. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be close. I also don't think it's gonna be too high scoring since we're gonna be relying a lot on the rush game from both sides. But I'll ask you. I assume what you're most excited for.
Yes, sir.
We'll see Texas A&M Missouri action.
I would be actually. Well, I'm excited because they're starting quarterbacks out, so it should be easier for us. But I guess I would be more pumped up to watch a great game if Bo Perbula was there. But I mean, like I mentioned, this Missouri team, they're dogs. Those Zion Young is an animal in the D line, and I mean, I just think our O line is the best in the conference, if not second and third. So I think we can kind of limit those guys, and our offense is, to me, the best in college football balance-wise. I'm not.
No.
Like balance-wise, I think Ohio State's passing game is better, but I think our passing game can match up, and I think our running game, we've shown we can win running, passing, we've shown we can win defensively. So I think we're just going to take care of business and continue churning on to a date on November 28th, 29th against the Texas Longhorns.
All right, let's calm down on that part. But no, I agree. I don't think it's a trap game anymore with their quarterback out. I mean, their passing offense was weak, and now it doesn't even exist basically. So I think A&M can just load up on the run and force bad throws. So I think A&M controls the game on both sides of the ball relatively comfortably. So I think y'all do take this one. Give yourselves a little hope before y'all get shut down soon enough.
Hey, man, but if we win this one,
who cares?
I care because then we're basically in the playoffs unless like it's the worst collapse you've ever seen with South Carolina at home and then Samford at home. Like Kirk Herbstreit, who the fuck is Sam? And then even if we lose to Texas, we're in the playoffs. But obviously, would love to win that game. But I think we just need to take care of business. Obviously, their quarterback's out. We can't take them any easier. We need our players to lock in coming off a bye. I want a dominating win. I don't want them to score a lot because they shouldn't score a lot, to be honest. And, yeah, man, we'll continue churning, and we'll never get higher than number 3 because Indiana and Ohio State are just going to keep winning as well.
Yeah.
And then this last one, I just included this one because of brand value, but we got Bama versus LSU preview in Tuscaloosa. Who you got on this one?
I think Alabama looks primed for another statement win, basically. I mean, I think it's going to be very similar to what happened last week where LSU got dominated by a top 4 team. I think it's going to be pretty much a little bit of the same. You could argue the key for LSU is if they manage to stop every single weapon Alabama has, which is not going to happen. And let's say by some sort of miracle they tighten up against the pass, I think Alabama's ground game can still break them. So I think Alabama wins comfortably.
Yeah, I think this might be ugly. I think LSU losing their head coach, it could help them, but I don't think it will. I think their defense hasn't looked good. I think Ty Simpson's going to dot him up. Obviously, the problem for LSU has been mobile quarterbacks. Even though Ty Simpson's not the most mobile, he can still run. Every time he puts it down, he looks sneaky fast. So I think Bama is going to kill him. This LSU offense has not shown up yet, and it's in Tuscaloosa at night, and we saw what happened last year when they went to Baton Rouge, killed them by 30. So I think it's going to be more of the same, but want to include it because there wasn't very many games here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, you have any best bets, man? Let's hear them.
Yeah. Do you want me to start with college, NFL, or just go through all of them?
Just go through all of them.
All right.
Order you got.
All right, we'll start. I only got 2 college ones. I think Ohio State minus 29.5.
Against who?
They're playing Purdue.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I mean, their stats are crazy, and I have a year. Purdue ranks 109th out of 136 teams in scoring. I just don't think this is happening. I think they're
Purdue
doing it relatively
0.
easily. Yeah. And then I do have Texas A&M minus 6.5.
I actually didn't like the spread, to be honest.
I have faith. I have faith in the Aggies. Like
Okay.
you said, they're the most balanced team on offense in
Yeah,
college
but
football.
but our defense sometimes like allows 40 points a game.
Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it doesn't ruin my record. And then I got here a couple for the NFL. I got Bills minus 9.5. I mean, the Dolphins' defense on average has allowed 27 points this season. The last time they played the Bills, they allowed 31. And I don't think the Dolphins' offense is really going to start rolling, but let's say they even do. I still don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Josh Allen. So I think Bills minus 9.5. Then this one's kind of gross, but I think Browns Jets over 37.5. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. Sauce missed 2 weeks of concussion, and now he's missing indefinitely because he's on the Colts, so he's not even in that game. So I think both defenses are in shambles, and I don't think it's going to be a shootout necessarily, but I think it's going to be like a 20-27 game. Yeah, it's going to be like a little dirty 20-23 something, but I think it'll clear the over. And then Steelers money line. Like I said,
Money line, not even risking it.
no,
Okay.
I don't need nothing.
Yeah.
You can say, like I said, I'm biased, but I think we're gonna get it, not comfortably, but maybe by a touchdown. And then lastly, I saw that he's questionable again because apparently he was hurting a little bit. But Puka's not expected to miss any time, and if so, anytime touchdown score, I'm hammering Puka, obviously. And I know I took the Niners, but I think Puka's Puka. So
The Rams can still score.
yeah, exactly.
Take the money.
You?
Do you want these picks to go into Jose's record if you do bad? And if
Yeah,
you do
let's
good,
put
you
put
have
the
your own record.
let's put the A&M one under Jose. Browns Jets under Jose. I'll take moneyline Steelers Bills
Okay.
and Puka
Gotcha.
and Ohio State.
I think he agreed to that. But I'll move in straight into mine.
Mm-hmm.
Got BYU plus 10. I think Tech wins this game, but I think 10's a lot of points for a team that is undefeated and is the best team in the conference and has gone into the road and beat Iowa State and some impressive teams. So I think 10's many points, even though it does confuse me, and usually I don't bet those, but I'm confident BYU is better than losing 10 points to Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Arizona, Kansas over 56.5. I don't even know how to explain that one. I just think these are two powerful offenses and their defenses are not good, and they'll put up a lot of points. Then I got my money line parlay double, two teams that are favored by 6.5, but I don't love those spreads. A&M money line with Vandy money line versus Auburn. Two teams that will win this weekend. Pretty simple. Then I got Bama minus 9.5. I would take this if it was 20.5. So I think 9.5 is kind of a steal. And then I got Bucks Patriots over 40.5. I think this game they might score every drive and just go back and forth. I got another money line parlay here. Seahawks money line and Colts money line. I think they're both favored by around 6 as well. Seahawks playing Cardinals. Colts playing. That should tell you enough. So I'm going to take that in a bounce back game for the Colts. And then lastly, your Pittsburgh Steelers. I wasn't bold. Didn't do money line.
Plus 3.
I kept the 3 points just in case Cameron Dicker hits a game-winning field goal there. Who are the Colts playing, by the way?
The Falcons.
Yeah, I'm good. The Falcons, we saw what they've done.
Yeah, if you were curious about why the Dolphins, their average